With the Roblox Doors update officially coming out, of course, we're going to get a ton of new features and items for the game. So sit back and relax, because this guide is going to be pretty crazy. Some smaller updates to the game do include these brand new door sound effects. It just adds a little bit more to the game compared to the old doors opening, which was a bit bland. And do you guys remember these old fake doors right in front of me? Well, apparently not every single fake door is going to be fake. You guys can actually go right through some of these fake doors, and it's going to be a briefcase just sitting for you on the ground. If you actually open up these briefcases, you can open up certain items, or you can pick up a lot of gold too. Of course, you do have your fair share of brand new paintings being added in, such as the catching fresh cod picture that we've seen from the sneak peek video, and obviously we do have this picture of depth that we've seen from the sneak peeks as well. There's honestly way too many paintings to count, but it is pretty cool to see more being added. Even when it comes to these gated rooms, they actually ended up spicing up the basements down within these gated rooms. There's a switch right there, but if you go beyond the switch back towards the corner over here, you can see a couple of these vents in which, if you do go through the maze, you can run into this secret gated room in which I guess you can just play around with your friends or something. The secret room's kind of useless, to be honest. And you guys can even see that the grandfather clock has made their appearance within the game, and we do got new UIs that do show up for certain items. Now we do have a new entity when it comes to this part. Randomly, you are going to run into certain rooms that have two options of doors to go through. And yes, you do have to memorize which door you have to take in order to not take damage. And it's not like you can go backwards to the previous door, because the door is completely unreadable. And if you guess the wrong door, that happens, you actually run into Dupe, which is going to be one of the new entities for this update. And he does take about a third of your health, which is kind of annoying. It is interesting to note that some of these fake doors can actually contain not one, but two briefcases, so make sure you definitely check these rooms out. And when it comes to dealing with Dupe, it even works with locked doors, such as door 24 over here, and also door 23 as well. Sometimes Rush can actually open up the correct door for you when it comes to dealing with Dupe, so that's gonna be a nice little bonus. And this is actually what happens if Rush goes through the room and picks the right door for you. As a little tip for dealing with Dupe, it definitely helps in order to say out loud which door you're at, so that way you can keep track of which room you're currently in. When it comes to the Seek Chase, we do have some new cutscenes. Yeah, the action looks really cool, man. Oh my god. They definitely added a lot more to the cutscene, though when it comes to the chase itself, the chase is a little bit slower than what it used to be in order to make it easier for newer players. Along with the grandfather clock, we did get movable and workable regular clocks within the walls. Along with the update, you now have the ability to pick up gold right on top of tables. So I guess you don't have to just go through the wardrobes anymore, you can just pick them up right from the table. Though sometimes you will run into this cool mini library room if you're very lucky. Yeah, the figure cutscene actually looks a lot better too. Though it is important to note that door 50 is pretty much the same, except figure this time has more paths that you can take, so you definitely have to be careful on where you're hiding and not just rely on his old paths. The figure also does seem a little more sporadic than before, so you definitely gotta be careful about that. There's actually a new painting called Captain Jack as well. You can see Jack's wearing a pirate hat right on top of him. That's freaking crazy. I mean, yeah, the library was pretty much the same. Though at door 52, you are going to start hearing some music, and you'll see why. Right over here, we do have one of the newest additions to the game, and that is going to be the mid-run shop. Towards your left, you got a variety of items in order to buy from, such as a crucifix for 250 gold, the flashlight for 100 gold, the lighter for 50 gold, the skeleton key for 250 gold, or you can also do a 10 gold donation. Behind here, you also do have a strange looking entity. His name is actually Jeff, and he does seem to be very friendly. You can donate gold to him in order to gather an achievement. And you also have two more individuals to the right side as well, in which you can actually interact with. You can actually talk to the brown creature, which is cool. As for the skeleton, nothing really happens if you hold E for a very long time. Of course, along with the update, there are going to be new rooms, such as one of these hidden corridor rooms, which does lead to a room without lights in the back here. Of course, the hole in the wall room as well that we've seen on stream. And we do have the infirmary as well as one of the newer rooms, which also does come with the skeleton key door if you do spend the 250 knobs to open it. And what's behind this door, you may ask? Well, you're gonna find this plant on top of the table, which actually heals you if you're low on health. You'll also see a bunch of these disheveled rooms like we've seen in previous sneak peeks. And also this really cool double basement room. And as you've guessed it, it's going to be a double basement, but one of them actually has drawers inside of it in order to get even more items. And in one of the corners of the basement, you can actually hear this very creepy music playing in the background. A lot of people have been saying that it sounds like the Void, but who really knows? Of course, we do have the crucifix as well as one of the newest items on the list, and you can use the crucifix on entities such as Rush or Ambush or any of the normal entities, or you can even use it on unsuspecting ones such as even Seek. Though if you use the crucifix on Seek, it will only stop him for a brief couple of seconds. The crucifix can be found as a loose item, though it's very rare. Or you could also buy it within the in-game run shop as well. You do have another new item, which is going to be the candle, and this item not only acts as a limited light source, but also as an indicator when entities are present or nearing, such as Screech or Rush, for example. You can find the candle randomly on top of tables if you're lucky. Another cool update about Seek is that he now has his own paintings, except if you try to interact with them, it says that this is not a painting. And also, if you try to go near the Seek eyes, they have a really weird sound effect to it. I don't know if I want to get near Seek's eyes, man. That's just pretty creepy. The second Seek chase animation does look a little different, though the chase is still pretty much the same. Just a little bit slower is all. The courtyard does seem to spawn in a lot, especially right at door 90 for some reason, but it's doors 90 through 100 is where things get really tough. And yes, you cannot revive past door 90, which is pretty rough. Doors 90 through 99 is also known as the greenhouse, and it's also where the game gets intensely dangerous and hardcore. Rush is known to spawn aggressively within the dark and without much warning. You'd have to stay near the sheds and rely on your sound for this one. Eyes and Screech do spawn quite a bit in here as well, and there are also small plant traps that would temporarily slow down your progress. Avoid these at all costs. Door 100 and onward is completely redesigned with new soundtracks and features, which actually makes it amazing. You also can't use the famed cutscene skip anymore, forcing players to play the minigame. The electrical puzzle game also has been reinvented, making players collect 10 electrical boxes throughout the room before completing the minigame, which I will say seems to be slower at first, then faster at the end. And this in turn does lead to a whole new cutscene ending. Huge thanks to Premium Salad for this, as due to bugs, I wasn't able to personally witness the ending, but make sure you guys rate the update down in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one.